PP.
Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another episode of Delve Requisite here on Proficiency Bonus. We are joined this week, as always, by my lovely Pirates crew. This week, the part of Michael, for at least for the next few minutes, is being played by the top portion of Victoria's head. Just don't pay attention to that part of the screen. Before we jump into the episode, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games. You can get a link to either of those websites by typing !Little Dragon or !CCG into chat. Little Dragon Corp is a dice company. They sell polyhedral dice. And Russell, you shared a link to something earlier. They got
yes, they
dragon
now have
dice bags or something.
Plush dragons that hold 15 sets of dice or something like that. It was crazy. They just launched them today. I saw.
If you have too many dice and you need to put them into a dragon, you know where to go.
Sounds like a fetish.
Well, whatever you're into, we don't judge here. Live your life.
You buy it from them using our discount. You can do whatever you want with it once you get it.
That's right. You can do whatever you want with it for 15% less than you would normally if you use bonus at checkout. That's Little Dragon Corp, and Cardboard Castle Games is a brick-and-mortar tabletop RPG and card store. If you are not located in Evans, Georgia, which is where they are located, you can find them online by typing !CGC, and you can check out their product there, and they will send it to your house if you so desire. So thank you, Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games. Okay, so not too much preamble. Last week, you guys, you are at the central island of the Iolaquis archipelago, the Mount Iolaquis, or oh boy, my notes book is all jacked up. The temple, as the locals call it, the Temple of Uralota. You have been on a mission to attempt to stop the Ignian Empire and this strange group of non-standard Ignians from gaining access to the temple and getting at something inside. You don't know what it is. But you know they want it, and Murderbeard had a strange, sort of portentous vision where he was visited by the specter of Nathaniel Thorne, who warned him that something slumbers deep beneath the island. We left off, you guys, with the help of the Aarakocra and the goblin tribes of this region, who consider this island and the temple within sacred. You stormed the exterior of it, where the Ignians were attempting to breach. You were not quite fast enough to stop them from getting inside, but you have since secured the entrance, and we left you guys as you were making preparations to enter into the temple, just a few minutes behind the group of Ignians who had rushed in. Using Murderbeard's familiar, you were able to glean some information about what is inside. You know that inside the Ignians moved through this door, through a space beyond, and into what Hamlet the familiar referred to as a winding hallway that was precarious and caused the Ignians some trouble getting through. He followed unseen, and you bore witness to several of the Ignians conducting some sort of ritual or prolonged spell where they are attempting to break some sort of a binding on a pair of earth elementals that seem to be keeping intact some sort of a seal or an enchantment of some sort deep inside the dormant volcano here. I will wipe the map here in just a second. This is just to give you a sort of a reminder. All these guys got thoroughly killed. This guy got extra thoroughly killed as you did a bunch of spells on him and then threw him into a ravine. But this group here, as well as the a good handful of Ignian soldiers had run in, and you guys are basically standing here at the entrance of this door. So I'll turn it over to you at this point. What do you guys want to do?
Did the murder beard tell us about the deadly tunnel?
Yeah, I actively relayed everything that I was seeing as it was happening.
I say we just go.
I mean, maybe we can hope that the deadly hallway can distinguish between people there to do harm and people there to do good.
Maybe.
Maybe?
It is a spiritual place. Is it sentient? I don't know.
I mean, it seems kind of sentient if the hallway can kill people. I'm okay with going in first if we want a guinea pig.
Oh, that's right. I second wind.
Okay.
Second wind. That's what I wanted to do before we ended last time. So yeah, hang on. Then I will come with you up front because I'm going to try and do perception, tread carefully, dexterity checks. I don't know what I have to do yet, but yeah.
I like to think that Nimba is like, hold on.
Wait.
Okay, we're good.
Do the Dragon Ball Z power up for a second, just "Argh!" Okay, let's go.
Rowan watches her power up and goes, I gotta learn how to do that.
Yeah.
Can we just put Thixus like
in the middle?
but closer to the back so that if he needs to escape, he can do that. We just put him
I will go in the back and Thixus can go in front of me.
Okay, I'll go in front of Thixus.
Okay.
I get 18 hit points back!
Ooh.
I'm almost full health.
Okay.
I guess we're cautiously walking in,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
in my head, Rowan is going, it's Orlota, right? I'm we're not here to cause problems. We want to get the bad guys out. Please don't crush me. In my head. Out loud. Oh god, oh god, oh god.
Alrighty. So you enter into this opening. You pass beneath the large relief carvature of a sort of humanoid reptilian figure that's been carved into the side of this mountain, and you enter into the blasted open set of heavy stone doors that had been sealed. You move through into a short hallway made of worked stone. So it's not natural stone. It is stone, large stone blocks that have been constructed into the walls here. And about 15 feet down, it opens up into a much wider chamber. You can tell immediately upon walking into this space by just the smell of the air that there's a heavy sort of stale mustiness to the air that indicates that it has been a very, very, very long time since this has been opened in any way. You can see there is a thick layer of dust sitting on the floor, which has been disturbed by the path of dozens of boots of the Ignians who ran through before you, leaving a very clear path forward. After you pass through this little hallway out into the space behind this doorway, you enter into a large chamber, probably 60 feet or so. It's round, but not quite perfectly round. It's a little bit oblong in shape. And there are a few key features that you see in the sort of the dim light filtering in from the outside behind you. In the center of the space, there is a large stone pedestal. It looks to you like it would be the base, the plinth upon which a statue would be placed, but there is no statue here. You can see a little bit of like broken marble near the base that indicates like there was once one here, but it has long since been like broken away and taken away and removed. You also see that there are 7 stone archways that lead out of this specific chamber that you guys have entered into. There is nobody else currently in this space.
Captain, did you see which way Hamlet said they went?
Do I have that information?
No, Hamlet basically just told you that he like followed them. He didn't indicate to you in any way that they like went down a bunch of like different pathways. He basically said like, no, they just went straight on this path and I just followed them.
Mhm.
I guess could I look for like the footprints to indicate which one they
Yeah,
went
make
down?
make an investigation check.
Investigation?
Yep.
16.
16, easily done. The dust is like disturbed and kicked up in a pretty much straight line that leads to one specific one of these pathways. The Ignians didn't even like bother with any of the other doorways. They beelined directly for one of them that is like on the far side of the chamber and slightly off to your right.
Does there appear to be any sort of like disturbance beyond like footprints, like any sort of like charring or like any sort of like elemental effect that looks recent, or like fallen stones?
Nothing
Like a
that you can
trap?
see.
Is there
Okay.
markings on these archways? Like, is there an indication of like differentiating between the hallways?
You got a 16.
Yeah.
There is on the stone like around the outside perimeter of this chamber. There is some markings. They don't really mean anything to you looking at them. They don't look like they're not like they're clearly not like labeling the doorways. They look more like extremely rudimentary like decoration almost. There's like sort of swirls and patterns and things. It looks like a somebody at some point like kind of carved some decorative work into the stone. No more than like in a band that's 4 or 5 feet off the ground that kind of wraps around the exterior.
Does it seem more like symbolic than like I say like ruins or like indications? Like you said it's not really a language.
It's not a language. It's like it's decorative essentially.
Gotcha. Well, they could just follow the one they went down. We know where they end up,
And we have to get to them,
and
so
we have to get to them. That one guarantees we're going to find them at the other end. Whether we survive that one,
I don't think we have
Somewhere in
much
here
other
there was a
choice.
hallway that killed people. So.
let's not die.
let's just again.
Oh, I didn't think of that. You're right.
Let's not die, Captain.
I just vote for hoping that the Shrine knows we're here to get the bad people out.
Hey,
You
Shrine,
know.
we're here to get the bad people out. Don't kill us, please. You're on a spiritual journey. We come
Or at least try and Whoever does that and Rowan goes, what?
Yeah.
I started heading in that direction, hoping the temple's listening. I don't know.
Before
Uh,
we
I
go,
cast commune with temple.
oh
I
god,
commune with the temple.
oh god. Before we go down that hallway, Rowan takes a quick second and she just thinks really quickly. I don't know if you listen to me anymore, but please make sure we don't get crushed in this hallway. To Helm, and then she keeps going.
Okay.
Does not normally talk to him or try that, but she's like, you know
Sure.
what?
Quick prayer. Good idea.
Quick try, just in case.
Alrighty. So you guys head down the hallway. You kind of like you fire off a quick text to Helm, like
You up?
FYI, might be in trouble.
Yeah, you up, Helm, you up, and you head down into the hallway, and you do see that it is a hallway. Presumably, you see, based on the fact that as you enter into this hallway, there is a couple of dead bodies about halfway down what is a fairly long, straight hallway. It looks like it continues, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, about 100 feet. And about halfway down, there are a pair of Ignian corpses in the center of this hallway. You can see laying on the floor.
Can we gauge how they died from?
You can make a medicine check at disadvantage since you're
roll.
like 50 feet from them.
Wait, what'd you say?
Wait. I have a spyglass.
Okay, make a medicine check regular with your spyglass.
Is he doing it, or am I? Who's doing this?
Who's got the best chance of doing it?
Not
They can
me.
borrow the spyglass. Probably not me. I have a
I
plus
I have a
one.
+5 to medicine.
Okay,
That
then I
should
will
be
let
still
Celia
up.
use it.
Let
Yeah.
me look.
Magical or slashing or
18.
hey.
With an 18, you see that there are like puddles of blood beneath each of these corpses. So you intuit from that whatever killed them did so in such a way that it like stabbed or cut or otherwise took the inside parts and put them on the outside parts.
Yeah.
They were eviscerated.
Nice. Okay. Great. Is it wide enough for like 2 people or 1 person?
You probably have to. You could probably shimmy down like side by side ish. But like if you needed to do much like maneuvering,
All right.
you'd be
Shipping from the
tight.
aisle.
You'd be tight with with the person next to you if you needed to like dive out of the way or something quickly.
All right. Want me to go first, or Ron? Do you want it? You want it?
I have an idea.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm the person who should have this idea. Do I see any signs in the walls, the ceiling, or the floor, like anything that could have come out, like
That's what I was gonna ask.
like stabby things that come out of wall?
Sure.
There's spike holes in these walls.
Yeah.
Like in
Make
Skyrim when you
a-
go to the hallway with the axes that swing.
Yeah.
Make a you're probably going to have to
Steal the
begin
spyglass.
to move down the hallway a little bit and like be looking. But you can certainly like start to eke your way forward and make an investigation check.
Okay.
So I was also gonna look out for those things. Would I be able to go behind
Absolutely.
her and assist?
Is yours
Sure.
better than mine? I think yours is better than.
I have a +1 to investigation.
Oh, okay. I have
I have
slightly better.
+2.
So
Alright.
I can give you the help action if you
Okay.
want.
I have a +6.
Murderbeard goes.
Okay, then you can go first.
Sidebar though, I had the other part of my idea was I'm going to take, since I have my animated shield out and still floating around me, I still have my old shield that like I'm not physically using anymore. I'm going to put that on the floor in front of Murderbeard and have him like kind of like shuffle it on his
Wait.
foot
Oh.
forward.
Hold
ahead of
on.
him.
Interesting. Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
I was looking at Thixis' sheet.
Oh god.
Oh.
We're not putting Nexus in the front.
super not putting Vixus at the front of this.
I have a -1. Never mind. I was gonna say.
I'll go. I'm doing it.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm doing it with my shield on the floor with my left foot on the shield and shuffling it ahead of me in case that triggers a floor trap first.
Sure.
Because it's an
Okay.
old shield that I don't need. And I'm going to go forward.
I will go. I'll go behind you to assist, and I will tell Nimue you are very light on your feet. If something comes at Vixus, please just get them out of the
Yeah.
way.
Got
We all have
you.
our jobs and our
I'm
assignments.
Team Thixis, got it.
Yeah. For this hallway, you are team get him out.
Okay, gotcha.
So I'm doing this with the help action. Yes.
Yes, a
The
roll
little
with
Squishy
advantage.
baby boy.
My baby
This woman
boy!
actually
Okay, okay.
out of the way.
Yeah.
18.
Okay, with an 18, you move.
Thank
You
God
move
for the health
like.
action because the other one was a 1. Let's just be clear.
You move like 10 feet down the hallway, so you get to like
Okay.
here-ish, and you kind of see it, and you shuffle the shield, sort of kick the shield out in front of you, and you kick the shield out in front of you, and as it slides onto a piece of the like tiled stone floor just ahead of you, you hear a click.
Mhm.
And a moment later, the shield is like, poing, like winged up into the air, as from the ground, the sides, and above, a series of metal-tipped spikes come like,
Yep.
and then retract back in. So your shield gets sort of like bang, 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 batted around.
Okay.
But you are none the worse for wear as this happens. As you
Okay.
kinda, like, set off
Michael is
at it.
now here and ready to go, by the way.
Okay.
You should just be able to disable the other camera and let him turn on, and we shouldn't have to do anything else.
Waiting. Too victorious for a moment.
I love it.
Get it? Because we're pirates.
Oh my god.
Seamless.
There we go. Yes!
Yes! Snape is in the house.
There we go.
Have you seen Harry Potter?
Oh my god.
Yeah, he just got squished by a whole bunch of spikes.
Yeah.
His murder
That's all
hallway.
my shield now.
Harry
Okay.
Potter.
Holy Potter, more like it.
Holy Potter.
So you get as far as here,
Okay.
and this space,
That's when it all goes.
this space triggers spikes.
Okay. So, but the shield is still, because it's metal. It's one piece. It's fine.
Yeah, it
roughly.
doesn't kind of. Yeah, the shield is fine. Like it
Okay.
doesn't. It's maybe it's dinged up in a couple places, and when it sort of like clatters back to the ground, it doesn't quite land as evenly on this piece of like stone tiling, so it doesn't like set the trap off again. Now it's just kind of like laying on the ground, like
Alright.
kind of here-ish.
I'm going to take Shikai. I'm going to grab my shield and pull it back to me very gently.
Okay.
I'm going to back up a little bit. I'm going to wait like 30 seconds and I'm going to push the shield back over that space again. I'm trying to see how fast it all goes.
And it immediately, as soon as you do,
Okay.
it goes again.
Okay. So this spot is bad.
Looking at this tile, am I able to see, like, is there a difference in texture or, like, height with the other tiles? Any sort of indicator of that would make the trigger tiles stand out from other tiles?
Make an
Now that we
investigation
know
check.
where it is. Okay.
Is it a big circle with swirls on
Can
it?
I be helping her?
Yeah.
Skyrim?
Okay, I'm helping her.
Thank God you did! That's a dirty 20.
The floor tile, as far as you can tell, especially since like a bunch of people have come through this room already, does not look different in any way that you can determine. But with the
Well-
dirty 20, what you do kind of intuit is, you sort of look at the walls and the ceiling next to like where you're currently standing, where you know that there isn't like a floor plate, and like you don't find any evidence of the hidden orifices where those stabbers come out of. And now that you kind of like know where to look, you can see them on the trapped tile. So the floor isn't necessarily going to give it away, but if you can look for the openings where the stabbers would come out, you should be able. You're pretty sure you should be able to avoid triggering anything.
Okay, I will explain that to my party.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first and mark where they are?
It's very quick, so we have to one at a time get through it and identify all the spots, and everyone has to be quick. So whoever goes first should take the shield and at least try to bump yourself up a little bit as you go.
Does anybody have chalk or charcoal?
Probably. I don't know.
You could maybe mark the tiles.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I have, yeah.
But like we're gonna mark the tiles, but like I'm just saying, so whoever like I can go first. Still wants to go first. I'm not gonna get into an argument over this. Just I want whoever it is to take the shield, since pushing the shield forward worked the first time.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel better that there's less likelihood that whoever does go down the hallway to mark it,
Yeah. And if you miss a mark, at least it'll hit
you
the
have a
shield,
chance
not
of
you.
the shield
Yeah.
getting hit first, or you having a chance to get out of it.
Right.
That's
Yeah, good call.
my vote.
Celia, if you want to go, or I can go. Up to you.
Maybe somebody who can dodge really well. I don't know. I don't really want
That would
anyone.
be me
going-
or Captain, yeah?
I don't know if these are technically dodgeable.
I think I finally got Uncanny Dodge. Yes.
I'm very Dexy.
Just whoever wants to go, push the shield in front of you, please. Make sure it goes into the next space before you.
Should we roll for it? Whoever gets higher goes?
I mean, you could go if you want. I don't.
Alright, I'll go.
You got long arms and legs.
That's true. I'll go. Yeah, I'll take the shield. Celia, are you sure you don't want to go?
So I'm going to save my HP for the possible next plan.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. Anybody can go.
Okay.
Oh,
Given the
we
option.
find chalk or something for Nimue to mark everything.
Oh yeah, Celia, do you have chalk? Or
I have a black of incense.
yeah, sure. We can just mark it with
Yeah.
incense.
We can breadcrumb it.
Yeah.
You can make a smudge with
I
that.
have-
It'd work.
Yeah.
Do I have anything? Hold on.
I have
Alright.
some. I have some ink.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I have
might have
ink.
ink.
I have ink, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Pass it up. Pass it up, Lexus. Pass it up.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, you can take my ink, not Thixus's ink, because Thixus will use his ink.
Alright, you take
It says it's
you
only a 1 ounce bottle.
take okay. We all throw all of our ink up for this just in case.
Okay, so the plan is for Nimue to traverse this hallway.
Yeah,
Scouting for
using
spots.
Locations on the wall. Find
Okay.
find the spots, mark it, and go, and hopefully not have
Make
to die.
me 4 investigation checks.
4.
Yes.
Does knowing what to look for help her? I'm so scared of this hallway. It's not even funny.
Does knowing what to look for help me?
Feel like
Yeah, the DC is lowered because you know what to look for.
Okay. So that's 16 on the first one.
16 on the first one. The next spike trap is here.
I have to pull up.
Keep forgetting we're in
Okay.
tempo.
Hop, step, jump. That's another 16.
16. The
roll.
next spike trap is here.
All right.
Right next to the body, makes sense.
Yep. Hop, step, jump. Ooh, 18 plus 2, 30, 20.
Dirty 20. The next spike trap is here.
All right. I mark it as such.
How big do the tile plates seem to be?
They're the full width of the floor. You're going to have to jump them to get past them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how far of a jump is it looking like? It's
5
gonna
feet.
be? Okay.
Knowing that they're there, I'm not going to make you guys roll anything. For
Oh,
What was your
okay, I
last
gonna say,
check,
maybe you
Sela?
got tiny legs.
Hmm?
You mean
Celia
Nimue?
or me?
Or, Nimue, sorry.
It was a dirty 20.
Another
the
dirty
last
20?
one.
The
Oh,
final
no,
ones. Yeah, the
sorry,
final one.
sorry. That's 13.
With a 13, only because you knew what you were looking for. You stop yourself because the final spike trap is there.
Oh,
Oh,
So you get to the end of the hallway here. You see that this hallway continues on.
I just turn around and wait for my party to follow me.
So the only thing that you guys are gonna have to worry, these you can take just a quick boop hop.
It's this one.
This one will require a very minor athletics or acrobatics to just make sure you jump over.
Can I throw Thixus or carry him with me?
If you want.
Toss me.
Toss me.
Toss me.
Toss you to Nimue, maybe.
Can I jump the distance? You'll have to touch me.
Yeah, so you guys all, without any issue, you guys all can move up to, like, kind of here. As you pass, you can tell this body here, looks like this guy got stabbed by this one, but didn't quite die right away, and sort of, like, dragged himself to here before he kicked it. This guy died on the spot.
Question.
Yes. Captain? Question, Captain?
What happens if we put one of the dead bodies on a pressure plate? Will the spikes stay spiked and we can just
We probably can't get
go
through it.
around them?
The
I mean,
How
that didn't
close
happen
together
to
are
the
the
shield. It
spikes?
didn't happen to the shield.
the shield got like, because it didn't get pierced, the shield got knocked back off the plate. Unclear on what would happen.
I mean, we can either jump on it or we can try that. It's just a thought.
Just
Hey,
jump.
Matt, if I switch accounts, is that gonna fuck everything up?
I don't think so, because the name is the
Okay.
same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, I'll be right back.
I vote we just hop it because I don't want to potentially gum up the spikes and then have us not be able to get through.
Jump.
I vote jumps. Yeah?
All right. Athletics or acrobatics check, as you guys want to attempt to
Do you
jump
need
over.
me to do it too?
No, you already made your way past with your successful investigations. Will allow those to count for.
I'm very
Oh, I
jumpy
think
anyway.
I think I did mess up the cameras. I'm sorry.
Let me see. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, Michael and Victoria are
There we go.
split in half.
No, everybody's right.
Thank you.
Here we go. Now they are.
Sometimes when camera stuff change, sometimes I just have to click back over to the Discord window before OBS
Yeah.
realizes what's happened. So it's good.
Like, am I
Um,
tossing you to Nimue, or are you doing it yourself?
I mean, if you want to toss me, perfect. That works for me. I'm not prideful about this at all. You may toss me.
So I will. Let me just give you this information. Just to add a little bit of a layer of realism to this. Do you think that Rowan can throw Thyxis bodily further than he can jump of his own power? I mean, Rowan's beefy,
Yeah.
but the DC, I guess what I'm getting is the DC for you to bodily throw Thyxis
It's
over
much higher
over
than
this
for him
is
to
going to be higher than the DC for his jumping. Now, Rowan
That-
might have like a +5 to strength, and Thyxis has like a +(-1).
Oh, wait, I know what Sela's thinking.
What if we tie a rope around him for the
Oh, wait,
person
no,
in
I
front
have
of
a
him, so
different
then
idea.
if he does
Hey, guys.
fall, they just yank.
Hey guys, if we want to waste 2 minutes, Thyxis can just
Yank me
turn into
aggressively
air.
onto the pressure plate.
Oh yeah,
Guys.
Thyxis, you can turn into air right now.
Turn into air. We could have just
Turn
skipped
to
all
air
of
and
it.
walk down this hallway.
Oh my god! I was like,
That's
wait,
true, right? We still have that, right?
Yeah,
2 minutes.
theoretically.
Oh yeah. Then I'm just
Should
sitting
we
on the other
just
side. I'm gonna
wait
take my
one
minute. And I'm gonna turn into air.
Wait, should we
I'm
all
gonna
just
float
walk
across.
through the terrible?
Yeah, maybe. Oh my god, wait, we're so
I
fucking
can't believe I
dumb.
forgot
D&D
about that.
parties. Oh my
I'm gonna be
God.
honest with you guys.
You were lying about it.
I
weren't you?
am surprised that you did the entire first row of the trap hallway before realizing that you could have turned into wind.
Look, it was like 3 weeks ago at this point.
Yeah, we did that a
Might as well
lot.
be eternity.
So long being worried about the fight that was coming, I forgot about Windwalk.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
How much
Windwalk
longer do we
was
have
the
that?
beginning of last session.
It's like 8 hours.
I literally,
Oh,
you have an
yeah,
hour.
then yeah,
I
let's
literally
do
that.
spent the couple of hours
you.
prepping all of this
hate you.
stuff, being like, well, this is a huge waste of time because they're just gonna
Aren't
windwalk
you
past it.
glad
But
we
I
forgot?
have to at least prep it. Like it's gotta be there. I can't just not do it.
Of awareness of the moment, we were like, oh,
We were
What's
so
most
stressed out
embarrassing?
about what Hamlet saw that we completely forgot about the active magic going on.
Yeah, what's most embarrassing is we didn't think about it at the end of last session when it's still
Yeah,
fresh.
Because we had gone through so much last session. We're all wind walking. Screw this.
I turn into wind and I go across.
Alrighty.
We're
I feel like
floating through
everybody
this
just like
hallway.
defeatedly like as they slowly turn to
Well,
wind.
but here, hold on, guys. It's still good to know where they are in case we gotta make a quick
Yeah.
exit
True.
It's true.
Yeah,
and we can't turn into wind.
yeah, exactly. So I'm okay with this.
Still
Okay,
worth it.
so are you're turning? Everybody's turning into wind.
Yep.
Let's make sure we do this systematically here. So everybody turns into wind. Let's say you're all now sort of one commingled pile of wind in this corner.
Well, we are
Ooh.
just in
You
the
have
wind.
bypassed this hallway. You are now facing down another much shorter hallway. And you do see that there is an opening here that leads into like another chamber. Are you guys turning back into peoples, or are you continuing windily down this
I think we're
path?
continuing windily.
I think we're
Windily.
continuing
Okay.
windily.
On my
So I
windowly
guess
way.
we can use
I'll-
like let's grab a token.
Follow-
We'll use the murder beard
I would-
token here. You guys, somebody,
Texas?
kind of move this to represent the group of you and like tell me what you want to like look at or do or whatever as you're moving through here, and I'll describe stuff to you as you go through.
Texas, you were saying something? You were gonna say something?
I was just saying, through this whole time, knowing that this definitely is a murder hallway, seeing spikes and death happening all over the place. What I missed, what it was just a floor pressure plate. Was that all it was? I missed
Floor
that.
pressure plate with
Okay.
like rudimentary metal tipped spear stabbers that came out of the wall.
Okay, I'd just be like keeping a lookout for anything that resembles that, even
Okay.
on the walls, on the ceilings, anywhere.
Alrighty. Okay. So you kind of float up here, and you now have this way, and then the continuation of the hallway here.
Can we see
Um,
into this room?
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
look
what's
into
this
here.
room?
You see that there is in the map here. There's this weird pile of like spooky eggs or whatever. In actuality, this is an empty stone chamber. There is what looks like it might have once been like a crude stone altar of some sort, but it is cracked in half and like on the ground. And otherwise you see nothing in this chamber.
I don't think we keep
I think
going.
I don't think
No
we keep.
we're looking
Yeah,
for the guys. We're not looking at
We're-
anything else.
yeah, we're keeping it rolling
Okay.
and going down.
After forgetting everything, we now are on track.
We're on
Oh,
a
you've
mission,
killed
we go
Murder
really
Beard.
fast.
As you get to this corridor, you see that the floor here begins to slope downward at a reasonably steep angle, and it is no longer flat so much as it is concave. It's kind of like this.
Like a ball, like from Indiana Jones ball. Okay.
Yeah, like a
What's
like
that?
for a ball.
Like an Indiana Jones boulder to chase us down. If we happen to
Exactly
be-
like an Indiana Jones boulder to chase you down is what you kind of determine here. Now, in your like gaseous form, you guys you don't know what the like mechanism that would trigger this, but you can see in this like back wall here, there is like a piece of the wall that is this one is like noticeably it has recently moved. You can tell. So like some of the cobwebs and dust are shaken away from it. There is a mechanism that like will open this wall and drop a boulder down this way, but in your gaseous form, you don't trigger it in any way. So you're able to just like boop ba doop ba doo float down this hallway, down this like steep decline pretty easily.
Can I just say how mad I am at us right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
You sort of follow this for a while. Eventually, you come to here. And again, kind of look, you have the sort of the leisurely time to look at it. You see that there's two pieces of floor here, that are, likewise to where the boulder would have come out, like free of debris and dust. You get the sense that these drop in somehow. So like the boulder would like chase somebody down this hallway, and then like both presumably them and the boulder would like fall into this pit.
It's a brilliant map.
You casually fly past that with no problem whatsoever.
yeah.
And you enter into the final portion of the space here. I'll tell you right now, for the sake of like letting you guys kind of determine how you want to do this. As you move into this final portion, nothing that you do is going to trigger any sorts of traps, because you're in gaseous form. However, there are, all along the walls of this last, like, L-shaped portion of this hallway, there are relief carvings depicting, like, imagery and iconography.
Of
The question of is how much time do you want to spend, like, looking at these versus how in a hurry are you to race through here and continue on. You can take a couple of extra minutes to, like, examine these as you go, or you can, breeze past them. I'll give you a very, like, at a glance as you fly past, and you can press on more quickly.
Can I do an at a glance religion check or something as we're going by, since this is a shrine?
Let's come to the group consensus of, like, what pace you moving through this area, and then I'll call for rolls.
Scylla would like to look, because this is the first time we've seen anything that is indicative of what the space actually is, and that could deeply inform what we do after we move from the space.
Yeah,
That's
I
fair.
think
If everyone
votes yes as well.
If you want to slow down, that's fine.
Dices is too curious about the walls. He wants to stop and look at them.
Captain. Stop.
I'm interested in the wall.
Yeah, I think
Alright.
Emily is.
We're floating and looking at the wall.
Okay. I'm not going to make you make any types of rolls then. I'm just going to give you everything that there is to be seen. If you have questions afterwards that might include a history roll or a religion roll or something, we'll do that. But this is what you see as you move through the space. Taking, not long. I mean, it doesn't take you an hour to do this. It takes you an extra 2 minutes, essentially. As you move through the space, you are able to determine that as you go along, you get the sense that these different, like, tableaus of, like, relief carving into the worked stone of the wall, though they are extremely rudimentary, they seem to depict a, like, chronological series of events. The first one that you see are a group of sort of small-statured humanoid figures that have, like, slightly elongated faces and tails in the depiction of them. They look vaguely reptilian to you. Your mind is called back to the carving on, like, the front of the mountain. They are, as far as you can tell from, like, the depiction, they're sort of like, they have, like, very rudimentary, like, spears, and, like, crappy little huts are depicted in this first tableau. And then the next one is of a group of these figures coming out of like some caves, and you get the impression that they are like beholding something, but what that something is has been, like, chiseled out of the wall. There's like a rough hewn broken part of this tableau where something has been destroyed and removed. But you see all these little figures are, like, seem to be, like, encountering something and are, like, raising up their hands almost in, like, reverence or worship to whatever this thing is. You see an image of these creatures like surrounding and like basking in the like glory of, again, something else that has been chiseled out of the wall. And then you see the next scene seems to depict some sort of a like a war, a battle. There are humanoid figures, not like the like little reptilian ones. There are all of these humanoid figures, and they seem to be doing battle with multiple somethings that have been chiseled out of the wall. One of these humanoid figures stands like in the forefront of the others, and it is holding something up above its head, but what that thing is has been chiseled off. You see an image of the little reptilian creatures. They seem to be like cowering and in fear. And you see these larger humanoid figures seem to be like casting something down, but what that thing is has been chiseled off. You see what you take to be a representation of the mountain in which you are standing right now. There are a number of these little reptilian creatures which seem to be like coming to this mountain and taking shelter here, being led by something that has been chiseled off of the wall. In like the background of this image, you see other representations of like other groups of these creatures taking shelter in like other representations of mountains and things like that. Above sort of like this, on like what you take to be sort of like a representation of like the surface world or something like that, those taller humanoid figures seem to like walk free. Among them, they hold like 10 of them hold something that has been chiseled off the wall. You see a depiction of these reptilian creatures digging and building and constructing inside of this mountain. You see that they seem to parlay with certain of the like the taller humanoid figures which are depicted here, who then like depart the mountain and go out into this overworld. All the while in this tableau where they are like building and creating what you take to be this very temple, there is depicted like deep beneath the mountain, like way down. It is depicted that there like was something way down there, and that thing has been chiseled off. There are several tableaus of these creatures like building things into this dormant volcano. And it shows, as if to show like a long time passing, and then the tall humanoid figures are depicted returning. And they present something to these reptilian creatures that has been removed from the tableau. As this like handoff is done, there is one of the figures in that tableau is pointing towards the sky, and the sky that is depicted in that tableau, for the first time you see, as like directly what they are pointing to, you see the first time Egeria's ring is depicted in the sky. This handoff of something takes place, and then you see a depiction of something familiar to you from inside this mountain. You see what appears to be crude representations of the very earth elementals that you have seen further into this mountain. You see them like being summoned, and something which has been chiseled off like descends deep within the mountain again. And these earth elementals are depicted as if they are like guardians of whatever this thing that has gone down and been removed from the tableau. And the final like tableau is all of these little reptilian creatures leaving this mountain and sealing it behind them. And then deep within the depths, you see the 2 elemental guardians, and then something further deep down beneath that has been removed. So that's sort of the narrative that you see play out on this wall. But somebody has taken the time to go in and remove the likeness that was carved into the wall of whatever it is that these things worshipped.
Matt,
And
would
followed here.
Thyxus, would we be able to tell, were they all removed at about the same time? Or is this something that's happened, like maybe the first one was removed at like years ago, and then something else, and then, I mean, I'm
As
in
far as
gaseous
you can
form, so I
tell-
don't know if I'd be able. I don't think
No,
we can communicate.
as far
so-
as you can tell, they were not recently. Amanda's about to say stone cunning.
Yes, I have
uh,
dwarven spidey sense.
Murderbeard, you are able to tell with your dwarven spidey sense. This the damage that was done to these tableaus is not recent. You can't necessarily pinpoint, like, was it done, this one was done, 1,000 years ago, and then this one was done 200 years ago. And
Can I
but
tell roughly
was
when
not-
maybe the whole thing might have been carved?
for that one, make a history, make a check with your stone cunning, which
Okay.
is that a nature check with advantage? Is that how stone
It's a
cunning works?
history check,
History check with advantage.
and you get to add double your proficiency bonus.
There you go. Not go ahead.
Okay, what's my history? I don't think it's good. Yeah, okay.
Could you repeat the one before the last one?
18.
18. The last one was that the elementals were summoned as guardians for something deep beneath the mountain, and the gate was sealed, and the reptilian creatures left. The one before that was that taller humanoid figures returned to this mountain and presented the reptilian creatures living here with something that has been removed. And that is the one in which a figure was pointing towards the sky, and the rings of Azuria were depicted for the first time.
Okay.
Murderbeard, with
Is
your
there
8... Oop, go ahead.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
With your 18, you are fairly certain that the stone you are looking at here dates into the thousands of years old. Which, to kind of put that in perspective, the Invarian Empire fell between 1,500 and 2,000 years ago. You've probably come across you've come across an Invarian Age ruin in this very campaign. This is significantly older than that. This is like pre-recorded history level stuff.
Where's the gas, right?
Yeah.
You are still,
I can't
yeah,
talk-
you
I
are
can't
vapor
speak to
currently.
it.
Talk.
Could I also make
Does the mind link work? Like the ring work?
I think she
with
has,
gas?
just do it when she has to have
I
connected
would have
it when we were.
connected
Or does the
probably
does the
to
ring
you.
work? Oh, I don't have
well,
the ring.
Nimway's connected to you because you know where you're going. None of us know where we're going. You've seen Hamlet's vision.
Yes.
We haven't seen it.
But
So if
that's the
Nimue
only
uses
person
mind
I'm
link to me,
connected
I will convey
I'm
that
only
information
connected to
to her.
Murderbeard. I'm not
Yeah.
connected to anybody else. I was
So
gonna
I'll-
ask if I could
yeah.
do a history check, just
Yeah.
based off my spiritual tutoring learning that was forced into my brain at like a really young age.
Absolutely.
If
Make a history
there's,
check.
like, a pattern of like familiarity. I don't know. Just thinking if anything props from her memory of that. Okay, not bad. 17.
17. With a 17, you are absolutely certain that like the stuff that you see depicted here is like nothing that is relayed in anything that comes to your mind about your your knowledge of like historical teachings and like ancient traditions of your people.
Like completely separate. Like it's
Y-
older than ours.
it's hard to say without whatever has been carved off of this
Right.
this thing. It's hard to tell like what exactly you're looking at. But like this, I mean, this sort of history of this like this big battle that was depicted, these creatures like moving into and inhabiting this mountain, like none of that is anything that you can draw a correlation to anything that you know from like your
Okay.
people's stories.
Okay. So there's no similarities at all in our. Okay, that's good.
I mean, the earth elementals, I think you can recognize as like
Sure. I meant
something
more about,
that-
like the reverence of worship and like something so significant that it has to be like not spoken about. So like she was like, "Is there anything like that?" But it's yeah. If it's
yeah,
completely
there's nothing that like it comes to your mind. And your role was so good that like this is like what I'll tell you is it's not like it's not a like, oh, I just can't think of, like, I don't know, I can't think of what it
No,
might be.
she's certain
And much
that
as
it
it's
has
like, no, like
nothing.
that this is, you are certain that like there is nothing that
Different.
connects to this.
Okay.
So, just a quick clarification question too. With the rings appearing towards the end there, is it the first time that the sky is shown, period?
It is
or
not
is
the first time that the
shown-
sky is shown.
Bro,
The sky
what
is
the
shown in
fuck?
any one of them that appears to be depicted outside. Like the mountain is shown
Oh,
several
wow.
times. There is no ring in those images. There's that like big battle scene, though, whatever
Yeah.
those humanoids are fighting have been
Shit.
removed. That appears to be outside. None
That's
of those
blowing my mind.
none of those bear the ring except for that one where it is specifically
Yeah.
being like referenced.
Yeah.
Okay, so the beginning of all of this predates the
This is
rings that
ancient.
surround. Oh God.
This is
Okay.
ancient history.
Good Lord. Okay.
This is not anywhere near like
Anything that
Our
anyone on our
ancestors,
playing
even.
field is dealing with,
This is
because the
beyond
Ignians are worried about the
ancestry.
Invarians, and like that's
Yeah.
as far back as they're going, and we're all
this is
chasing
not
them. So.
generational. This is like
Ancient.
ancient. Yeah.
Oh God.
Noted. Keep going.
Yeah.
Floating.
All right. So, you guys continue to move forward.
Yeah, that's why I wanted you to repeat that second to last one, because I was like, wait, did you just say what I think you said? You did.
You now move into a familiar space, or at least familiar to Murderbeard, and familiar by description to you guys. You exit out of that hallway, and you then begin to descend a long, curved ramp. It takes you. You're able to move faster as like gaseous form, right?
A lot
Then, like,
faster.
It's like 300 feet around.
Yeah.
Something
Okay.
insane.
Yeah.
So even at that speed, it takes you like a good 5 minutes to descend.
Oh, damn.
This thing, like, you get the sense, kind of as you're like putting it together, you get the sense that you might actually be like working your way down a spiral ramp that actually spirals like the entire perimeter of the mountain. Working your way down. You are definitely like beneath sea level at this point. And eventually you are like, you can see the ruddy glow of like magma flows below. And you hear this like high-pitched arcane thrum accompanied by the lower like stone grating rumble of the earth elementals being like channeled against. You are more than capable of like staying in the tunnel and reforming to like your normal form if you would like to. You can theoretically come out in gaseous form here as well, if you're wanting to do like some reconnaissance first. But that is you're in this space now that you had seen last time we played.
I don't want to go in too far in gaseous form because we are still vulnerable in that form. So like, and we can't fight back. Christy, you're muted.
I was gonna say, I wonder if there's anywhere closer, like, My thought
How-
is if we find somewhere to hide, but closer to the action, to reform. It's risky, but at least we're like closer to whatever the fuck they're doing.
Well, so we got
Out
the
of
play.
character. We don't have to.
Yeah. So out of character, we got the play-by-play from Murderbeard, like the
Right.
layout roughly
Right.
from Captain through Hamlet.
Right.
So we know roughly that there's an elemental over there, an elemental over there,
Mhm.
and the bad guy is across the way, shouting about get it done quick.
Yeah, so I mean, some stuff is different when you either you tell me you're gonna reform in the tunnel and come in, or you're gonna come in gaseous form. I will then describe to you what has changed in the intervening 25-ish minutes it's taken you to get down here behind them.
Well, how did they get down here so fast?
We don't know.
Well, part of it
Can
seems to be
interrogate them later.
part of it seems to be brute force. As based on some of the bodies, they just zerged through the trap hallway, where you guys spent 5-10 minutes ish getting through that first hallway before you realized, oh shit, we can turn into gaseous form.
But I mean,
Keep
how
in
did
mind they were down here before you guys even came in.
Yeah.
So 10 minutes for the first hallway. You spent a couple of minutes checking out the things. Then it took you a few more minutes. They've been down here for for a little while. They were
Okay,
already
so it
up to
did take us
this.
25 minutes to get down from top to bottom of the mountain.
They were down
Okay.
here when we were still. They were working their way down when we were still fighting the guy outside.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got
they
it.
were rushing in before.
Yeah,
we were still
when-
even getting into. We weren't even in combat yet when they started rushing in.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
what you
okay.
guys saw is
I don't know why I thought
when
they rushed in at after combat started.
No, because they saw us before we even technically started fighting.
that was
and they
what
were like,
that
"Oh,
was what
shit."
triggered
Yeah,
them
okay.
to run in. Yeah.
And
So
so they
they've-
knew that we were there, so they rushed it down.
The channeling of this thing has been was just kicking off when you guys finished fighting upstairs. So they've been doing it in the
Gotcha.
intervening time. Well, I don't want to get we don't need to get crazy nitpicky about the
yeah.
exact
No,
amount of
I'm just
minutes.
wondering how
They've
far
been
into
for
this ritual they are. Could we
Well,
gauge from the last time
that
Hamlet used
that
the
is going to
recipe?
depend. That's going to depend on how you guys enter the room.
Oh,
If you
I see.
enter and I already know what is happening here
What's
based on
happening,
the
gotcha.
choices you guys made and how long it took you to get down here.
Okay.
I'm not going to describe that to you until you
Right. until
have
we make it
entered.
through. I understand.
So you got kind of let me know how you want to do it, and then I'll tell you what you see.
I misremembered. I thought you were maybe 5 minutes ahead of us.
So we can't talk to each other, can we?
No, so I think
no, I think we have
probably
to.
That's why-
most-
Oh
Let's
man,
just-
my
we just follow
my
the
cool
first person that.
sniping. I had the whole sniping plan worked out.
Well, we can still
still
not
do it.
reform and do that, and then we can just go forward with that plan.
I mean,
I honestly
That's our
think
best plan. It's the only plan
gotta-
we have, number one.
We theoretically came up with that plan in game
Outside.
before we came down here.
Yeah.
I think that's still we still got to move
That's our
quick.
best
I
plan.
think.
We have to
Yeah.
open the spellcasters. We
I
have
think-
to stop the ritual. We have to take out
I
the
think we
casters.
As much as I would love the reconnaissance, I think forming.
I don't think we have
So-
time.
I don't think we
okay,
have
so I can tell you what Scylla is going to do if we are not gonna have because we can't really talk as a party
Right,
to
no,
plan.
I know this.
So Scylla's going down over to these guys because she's one of the only people that can get back on her own from being down in the lava over there. So she's
Roughly-
air misting down there.
Roughly where in this room was Hamlet?
He was up here, and still is. In fact, actually, he's hanging out up here.
Let's yeah.
Wait, which one are you going to pick? This
The
one
guys that are
She's
down in the
going-
lava, because I'm the only person who has the ability to get
To
back
get-
up.
I
Get-
understand. Okay.
Down over there.
Where is the main dude? Is he on the bridge or is he down there?
He's across the way
He
over the
was
bridge.
over here. He's moved since then.
Did we
Yeah,
see
they're
him?
not. They're not. Yeah, they're not.
You
in
still
the same
haven't told me
spot.
how you're entering
We
the
have,
chamber.
yeah, we can't ask these questions. I think okay. Meh. I hate this. This is why we forgot about Windwalk, because we were so concerned about this part.
Yeah.
I know.
I
Thyxus
agree.
Thyxus would try to get rid of all those guys on the bridge.
I
These
think
guys.
Yeah, but where are we forming?
so.
Are we forming in the hallway?
Here's out of
Wherever you
character.
want.
Out of character, here's my brain thought. If
Sure.
Victoria, if Scylla is going down there, which I get, I agree, like that's. But then you're the only one down there, which I don't love.
Yeah, but I have literally like so much HP.
I
I have
Fine.
built in like over 100 HP.
Okay.
I
So
understand your
wild
concern,
shape
but I need
Scylla's
to
gonna be
remind you
fine.
I'm built different.
So here's my out of character. Here's my thought. If we all start to meaning the rest of us minus Scylla start to reform
Mm,
in the tunnel,
mm.
so we can do the other plan.
Okay.
Because we have to take out the casters, and that is our best shot if we want to stick with that. And Scylla goes down there and F's that spellcaster up and gets out.
Mm.
Like I think the main charge is get the spellcasters out,
Mm.
and then we worry about getting across the bridge.
I think the issue too is these golems. If they get them here in control of them, then we're screwed.
That's why I want to take out the spellcasters.
So we
'cause
got to
they're the ones
stop
have
that.
to-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why if Scylla goes for the spellcaster down, and Captain goes for the one over with our original plan. The one like kind of on the same side as us. You know, if we reform in the tunnel, do our
Yeah.
things. Scylla
Yeah.
goes and takes out the other one.
Yep.
She can bail if she has to bail. Does that make sense? I
Yep.
don't know. I've been panicking about this for 2 weeks, guys.
I know. I think you're right.
Is everyone cool with reforming in the tunnel except for Scylla, who's gonna fly down and then reform and drop on them from somewhere?
That's yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I
what you
only
want to
can
do. You do you.
I can only do what my character. I only have
Oh,
There's
you got
because
this.
I like my plan because I am useless at distance. My plan is literally going to be the plan we had.
yeah, like I think going with the plan that we had, but modifying what Murderbeard and Thyxus do, because the sniping, like, we can't technically. We don't have enough time to talk about. Guys, we're gonna snipe these people in character. So
Well, I mean, he'll be able to like we didn't our characters discuss this though before
We
we
were
went
talking
down
about
here.
it.
we were talking about
Outside.
out of character.
So like Thyxus and Murderbeard would probably still be on the same page
Yeah.
because I can still take care of those guys on the bridge while I do the same thing to
Yeah.
Murderbeard.
And I can still protect Thyxus.
Mhm.
So I guess we all form.
I'm
on-
not
on
any
the
I'm not
hallway.
any farther than 5 feet away from you, Rowan.
Please just tie a rope between me and
Smart
Thyxus.
answer, sir. Smart
Okay,
answer.
so
We form in the hallway, and Scylla, are you forming in the hallway with us, or are you going?
Are you going down and
I'm
flying
going
over?
as wind down
Okay.
to this little peninsula.
so you guys will start here. Scylla, you're gonna where are you positioning yourself for your minute long
So-
transformation back?
I want to be at the tip of this thing because I'm gonna immediately wild shape into a giant elk and charge at these motherfuckers.
Cool. Okay. Very good. All right. So the other 4 of you are up here. Okay. So here is what happens. You guys move, just into the room enough that you're kind of like tucked away. Scylla is in a little bit of a more precarious position. You have the advantage that none of them are like paying attention in your direction. They're looking at these giant fuck off elementals that are being channeled against. So here's what you see as you enter the room, and here is how this plays out. Over on the far side, you guys can see that the individual that you heard, or that Murderbeard you heard, they are now standing over by this massive, like, stone door sealed here, and, like, looking and watching. These groups are much where they were before, conducting these rituals against these creatures, these earth elementals. As you guys are entering in and like beginning to like recoalesce, the sort of pitch of that arcane whine changes a little bit, and Scylla, you're, I think, the only one who's going to be close enough to really be able to do this. If you would like to make me an Arcana check.
15.
Okay,
I
with
only have
15.
+1.
So what all of you see, and you hear the like pitch of that like changes. The light that like glows on these seals on these archways are extinguished. And you hear this like deep rumble within the depths of the volcano. And a streak of light like splits the sealed door here. However, the ritual does not appear to be complete. Sela, with your Arcana check, you're kind of like watching the ritual circle that this caster is standing in, and channeling this spell. You presume the other one is the same. There is a 2-part ritual being conducted here. What you have just witnessed is the completion, you believe, of the first part, which you would intuit was an unbinding. You believe that these elementals have been unbound from the gates that they were keeping sealed. The second part of the ritual, you are fairly certain, is a ritual of binding. That these Ignians are now trying to, having unlatched them from these gates, are now trying to bind them to take control of them. That part is still underway. You guys got here fast enough to keep them from completing that. But the extra time in the, like, wind walking and checking out the things has given them enough time to complete the first part of this ritual. That is what you see. I'm not gonna... Actually, Sela, can you make a stealth check as you take your form? Just because I want to...
Do I what are the stats of a windwalked thing?
Just make a flat stealth check, because I don't want to make a call on something. I want to leave it up to a dice roll of whether or not somebody spots you, like, turning back. So just make a stealth check as Sela. And we'll let that
I'm
be.
gonna use the inspiration that I had from
Sure.
Kat. I think I actually had 2, but I'm just gonna use that because that was not great. Okay, 14.
Okay, 14. I'm going to roll a contested check
Yeah.
to see, because these guys are not paying attention to what's going on besides their ritual. But these guys are kind of keeping an eye on things, and these guys are keeping an eye on things. They rolled a 14. Which, by rules of you being the defender, I guess?
No, I never know how that works when we're both... Yeah.
I'm going to
Is
say...
it the DC to find, or is it the DC to evade?
This is going to be complicated enough without adding a bunch of extra bullshit to it, so I'm going to say they don't spot you. All of you guys, over the course of the next minute, are now reformed. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. You are going to get a surprise round, as none of these guys are aware that you are here yet.
Okay, this is just like a minor... Okay, how long is this thingy? I just want to be like 20 feet from where all the dudes are. I just had the end of it, but that's because I wasn't realizing the length until I saw my mini on it.
Yeah, this is a big-ass chamber.
Yes.
20 feet from the
Huge.
dudes would put you, like, here.
Jesus Christ! Okay. I'm there instead.
That might have changed the mechanics of the roll I had you make. That's fine.
Oh, well, then I'll go
No.
back, like,
I'm
halfway.
fine with that. I don't imagine that like turning from wind to a person is very loud. So it's fine. This is
Matt,
you guys
was
set
that
up like a
like
cool
the screen
scenario.
to do it?
Constant loud
everyone-
wet fart sounds the whole time.
Matt, for those of us that were transforming in the tunnel,
Yes.
is there time to cast a spell before going into initiative in the tunnel? Before we go, boom.
had
team, move,
had
you know?
Sela not been elsewhere,
Okay, got it. Just
I
wanna
would
make
have
sure.
said yes. But being that, like, you guys are, you basically have it, you like had to like synchronize your secret agent watches before she floated away from you guys. If you want to cast that spell, you'll have to do it with your surprise round.
Got it.
Alrighty, initiatives. What you got?
24.
19.
Yeah, good job, Rowan.
Hell yeah.
12.
I can't do anything. It doesn't help me at all.
Okay. Murderbeard and Thixus.
After you.
$16.
15?
16.
16.
He got 16.
5.
Oh boy. All right. You guys are gonna get a surprise round. So Nimue, you are gonna be the first to react as you guys take shape. We'll probably obfuscate some of the distances in this, as I don't want to spend the next 4 rounds of combat with you guys running towards them. So I guess if you want to, like, just keep in mind, like, they're pretty far away from you. This is a big-ass space.
Right. Alright, well. I think first order of business. Try to break concentration. Could I get around to, like, this ledge over here and, like, try and snipe one of those guys? Down there?
You're trying to shoot at these guys? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, wait, I was going on the wrong side. Hang on. Wrong way. Wrong way.
You guys are here. Seala's down here. These guys are over here.
We're so
And
huge.
then-
I wish there was like a ping that we could do.
There is. You can put there's a way to, like, pokey arrow.
Here?
I forget how to
Alright, well,
do
then
it,
I will
but you
just-
can do it.
I'll just snipe over one of these. Can I try and, like, move forward and try to snipe this elven wizard dude? With my bow?
I don't see anybody else's hand. Everybody's... Colors Christy? Christy is blue. Okay, where's the blue? Where's the blue hand?
Sniping
This
the
guy
on
over
our
here.
You're gonna
level.
shoot that guy. Okay. Yeah, certainly.
Cool.
So yeah, if you move up, like, let's call it
So long
here.
so I can...
He's got like 600-foot range.
Yeah, so you should be fine.
Alright. Ooh, I don't know if that will hit. 19?
19 definitely hits.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll damage.
He's a wizard. They're squishy.
Right, they're
Go for it.
squishy. That sucked. 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay. I'm gonna roll I pre-rolled a concentration check for him as you were
Cool.
rolling your damage.
I'm gonna do a second
He had to beat a 10 because you rolled 8
Uh-huh.
damage. He rolled a 1.
Oh,
So immediately into combat, you thunk an arrow into the back of this guy's shoulder, and he staggers forward, and you watch as he fully we lost our elemental. He fully loses concentration on his spell fucking immediately. The arrow hits him, and his binding shatters, and the ritual circle, the spell circle around that elemental goes like, and dissolves into nothingness.
cool. I'm gonna try and hit him again. Just
Okay, roll it.
keep him occupied. He has to maybe heal himself. Yeah, that's 15 plus 8 to hit.
That hits.
Cool. That's better. That's 14 damage.
Nice.
No, less than that. I'm looking at my Naginata. 12 damage.
20 total. Okay. Alrighty. He's still alive, but he does not seem to have fared well from getting hit with 2 arrows in the back. These guys immediately are like, whoa! As they turn to see where they're getting attacked from. Rowan, that brings us to you.
I hold my movement to stay with Thixus.
Okay.
And I at a distance I really can't do much, and I don't know what my boys are planning, and this place makes me
So,
nervous.
what you can do, you have a couple of options here. I'll be more technical than I usually am. You can hold an action
Mhm.
to do something when Thixus takes his turn. Or you can delay your turn in combat, which means you can choose to like not take your turn now and then like put yourself back into the initiative later where you want to be. So
Yeah,
you can,
I'll delay to go.
so we'll put we'll say you delay your turn so that you will no longer be second in initiative. You will now be last with Thixus. Okay. So we'll pop you out of initiative there. All right, Murderbeard, that makes you next then.
Okay. Does activating the boost of speed is that a bonus action?
Should be on the item.
It cost nothing, so I guess it's not anything. I don't know.
The action
Doesn't
activate.
say. Really, but you can use a bonus action. Yeah, it's a bonus action.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm going to click my heels together.
Okay.
To activate my magic boot. And then I'm going to wait because I'm.
What the?
Hold my
What
action.
happened?
Yo,
Your
your
microphone.
mic.
Your mic.
Your mic.
I think your mic switched.
died.
We all just went like this.
So you're holding your action. Okay. Well, while you sort out your mic, you are going to hold your action to do what?
Captain.
We'll get back to him. He's fixing his mic. The elementals would have been next. They are on a surprise round. Sela, you are next.
Okay. So I turn into myself, and then I'm instantly not myself again because I use one of my wild shapes to turn into a giant elk. But it basically looks like one of those like big honkin' water buffalo things, but like dire, and it's got like bony protrusions and stuff, and it's spooky.
Okay.
Oh yeah, give me my bear.
Best I can do is a bear.
So I am now a huge beast, and I am going to use the 60 feet of movement. Which one is the spellcaster here? Is it this guy?
Guy with the cape. Yep.
Okay, yeah. Zeroing in on him, I am going to hit him with a ram, but I'm adding a charge on top. So if I move at least, are you okay?
I think he's trying to fix his mic and he covered it.
It's the sound of a man who is currently beneath his desk fucking around with wires.
So if I move at least 20 feet straight toward a target and then hit it with a ram attack on the same turn, it takes some extra damage and it has to make a strength save or be knocked prone.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to try to ram him.
All right, roll the hit.
Okay. $16.
16 hits, roll damage.
Oh my god. Okay. So that is regular is 2d6, but I get another 2d6 and he has to make a DC 14 strength save.
Makes his strength save. But go ahead and roll damage to see if he can stand a constitution save.
Oh my god. Okay. 10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 points of bludgeoning damage.
21 points of bludgeoning damage, which means he still needs a DC 10 concentration check. He succeeds. He maintains concentration on the spell, and continues to try and channel. Although he's like, ah! And these guys immediately like turn to see you, giant elk beast attacking him.
Yeah, that's what I got.
All right, cool. It is going to be the Ignians' turn. They are surprised this round. They do nothing. That is going to bring us to the bottom of the order here. Thixus and Rowan.
Thixus would look to Murderbeard. Say, I did this by accident the first time, but I'm pretty sure I know how to do it. And I'm going to cast Greater Invisibility on
Okay.
Murderbeard.
Alrighty.
And
Murderbeard,
I
you
will roll
turn
Wild
invisible.
Magic.
Roll Wild Magic.
I'm safe.
Okay. Murderbeard, you turn invisible, which I assume was what the held action you were getting at was.
Yes.
Okay. What do you do with your held action now that you are invisible?
Well, I'm gonna move up first, and who have we did we decide like somebody is a main focus, or are we just
So
trying
far,
to...
Nimue shot this guy and dispelled his spell. Sela tackled this guy, but he maintained concentration. There's a bunch of dudes on the bridge, and then the 5 mystery people are over on the far side of you.
They have yet to react. The people on the bridge.
They have yet to react because it is surprise round. And they're not actually
Nobody
not actually in
over
combat.
here looks like they're holding a spell.
Over where? What's up?
By where?
No, those guys didn't like. These guys have just turned in reaction to the fact that this guy got hit with 2 arrows.
Okay, cool.
This was the spellcaster. He was channeling the binding on the elemental. He is now shot. And these guys have just turned in your direction. These are just dudes with swords.
I'm gonna go towards the dudes on the bridge. So, however, 60 feet would get me because it's doubled with the boots of flying. And how far away are they? Are they like
Probably
extra
another-
long boy?
Probably another 6. No, you got a crossbow?
No, my Eldritch Blast.
Oh,
Which is
fuck.
like- Yeah, it's just, I have no idea how scale this is.
You could shoot somebody on like an adjacent island with your Eldritch Blast at this point. Like, you're fine.
In that case, I'm going to Eldritch Blast. Whoever looks like they're the most important dude over there, I'm going to aim for him.
There is a spellcaster with these guys.
Then I'm going to aim for that dude.
All right, roll the hit.
You have advantage.
Oh,
Yes,
good.
you do.
23 to hit.
23 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Okay, you can sneak attack with Eldritch Blast, right?
Yeah, this is why this is the
Hell yeah.
sneaking thing because it just says an attack,
Hell yeah.
not like a weapon attack.
So you invisibly materialize one of your guns and fire off a shot.
I didn't take a D10 out, so I'm going to roll this on that. Okay, so that's 4 points of regular damage, and then... $12 points of sneak attack damage.
12 and how much? 4?
4 and 12.
Okay, 16 total. He is not... Oops.
But does he have to...
He's not currently he's not
he's not currently
concentrating.
concentrating.
No, he was just minding his own business, and then you shot him.
And then
in
I'm
the
gonna-
face.
I will have saved some of my movement, so like I'm gonna take a shot and then take like a few steps to the side of where I just shot from.
Okay, you like. Cool. Alrighty. Back to the top of the order. Nimue, that's gonna bring us to you.
Wait, real quick, Tyxus, did you move forward at all, or are you staying put?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
sorry,
well,
Rowan
If
needs to go
I
as
would,
well.
I would stay no more than 5 feet away from Rowan. So if
Well, I'm
Rowan
just wondering
moved
if you
up, I
wanted
would
to-
move up with.
Okay.
Like we would be just in tandem.
Okay, so if
If you guys want to move up like towards where Sela is, or where Nimue is, you can.
a little
like-
bit, maybe not the whole way, because I want to kind of like
But you're like,
yeah, and probably me. Tyxus closer to like this like.
Yeah,
Rowan
like this is
can-
not
I'd
on the
like to
left side.
envision. I'd like to envision that Rowan has both of her shields currently, and is just like, Thyxus is like standing there, and Rowan is like. her shields.
No, Thykes is walking in front of Rowan's body, but
She has
inside of her
shield around.
arms. It's like a living Iron Maiden.
That's it.
All right, so
entirely the
the two-person phalanx moves their way up. Okay.
For the record, I'm holding up my for myself. I have my battered shield up. I'm keeping the animated shield in front of Thyxus, and
Okay.
the thought for the animated shield is to follow Thyxus.
Sure.
So if we do get separated, he has the animated shield guarding him.
Okay. All right, Nimue, that brings us to you.
All right. I'm going to probably maybe move up closer.
Somebody's
Well, I
mic
don't
is still
know if they're
freaking out.
actually- I'm not gonna move. I'm just gonna shoot again.
All right.
Dirty 20 to hit.
Dirty 20 hits.
11 damage.
11 damage.
The same dude, same wizard.
All right, that is enough. That second shot drops the wizard. He's hit. He falls to the ground dead.
Cool. I should probably pick off these guys, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna pick off. I'm gonna shoot one at the front dude. That's here.
All right, go ahead and roll the hit. Am I the only one getting that weird feedback from somebody's mic?
No, I mean, I tagged Russ in the chat about it.
But it's Russell. Okay.
Gotta mute yourself.
Nat 20.
Ooh, nat 20. All right,
Whoa.
roll damage.
Woo!
Oh, did we just lose Russ?
He couldn't hear us.
Oh,
I think
okay.
he had to reboot or restart
okay.
Discord probably.
Check. How far away is he from me?
100 feet.
Oh, okay. I couldn't get up to him. Uh, 19 damage.
Okay, 19 damage to him. He's thunked with an arrow. They definitely see you guys now. Not Murderbeard because he's invisible, but they are facing your direction. Okay. Murderbeard. I'm gonna make an executive decision, and I'm gonna have Murderbeard Eldritch Blast the Elven Wizard again. Since he's messing with his thing, I'll roll for him. He hits. What's his sneak attack damage currently?
I'm opening his sheet.
4 on the force damage, and I rolled 46, but I feel like he's probably got more than that.
3d6 extra damage.
3d6, okay. He does an additional 12 damage to this guy. Which is not quite enough. That guy's still alive. He takes another 5-foot step to the left after shooting. Alright, that's going to be his turn. Which will bring us to these elementals. This one, by Sela, does nothing because it is still being actively bound. This one, however, has been released. And it begins to swell in size as you watch as from down below, from this like river of magma, a like trickle of like superheated rock and molten like lava begins to like pull out up from the depths here and like infuse itself into this thing's body, and it begins to get bigger and angry looking. Gonna make him red. Yeah. as what was, until a moment ago, an earth elemental, now has become a magma elemental. It is going to
That's why the Magmussie's at the bottom of the map, y'all.
roll forward. That's right. And it is going to make a slam attack against one each of these dudes.
Yeah.
That is a holy bejesus. That's a 29 to hit and a 20-something to hit. Both of these guys are hit. They both take... this guy is crushed into paste as this thing brings a molten fist that just piles down onto him and goes with liquid rock onto the space where he was standing. As it pulls its fist up, there's nothing left of the guy that he just crushed. And then it swings a fist into the second guy. He takes 26 points of fire damage. No, I'm sorry. He takes 28 points of bludgeoning damage. Oh, shit, maybe he's not alive. And then he takes... he takes 12 more points of fire damage, and he is also dead. So this thing, slams these two Ignians, killing them instantaneously. That is its turn. Oh, no, it's not. It also has a magma hurl attack, which it is going to make against...
No.
Ooh, we're gonna roll dice here. Odds and evens.
Lexus is aggressively pointing to the people on the bridge.
we're all doing
It does in
this.
fact use its magma hurl attack against the bridge. It throws a hunk of magma at this guy, hitting the absolute shit out of him. I don't even need to roll the damage. That guy is obliterated by a chunk of molten rock that just sails 100 feet and hits him square in the chest.
Instantly
There's a
deleted.
He
word.
died.
He
He
was
it
just a
hits
guy.
him. Yeah, he's and he's splattered against the ground as molten magma spreads out across his burnt corpse. That is the magma elemental's turn. That brings us to Sela.
You know, I got one thing that I can do. But now I can do a hoof attack, which really hurts if I hit him. And I'm going after this wizard again.
All right, roll the hit.
I'm gonna use my layered dice. 19.
19 hits. Roll damage.
Okay. I get 4d8 plus 4 bludgeoning. 8, 7, 6, 3. 15, 21, 25, 28 points of bludgeoning damage as I rear up on my hind legs and then slam them down, the front ones down into this dude.
You knock him to the ground. He hits the ground. You come down with your full weight on top of him, and you feel the double crack crack of your hoof first breaking his spine and then breaking his sternum as it crunches into the ground. He is dead. And the spell is
wow.
broken.
Wow. And then, I'm just gonna back up a little bit. I got 60 feet of movement. I'm backing up a little bit
All right.
from these dudes.
You back up a little bit.
Because I'm gonna charge them again. We're gonna
Okay.
just keep going. This is
Alrighty.
some, what is it? What's a game? Grand Theft Auto, these bitches. Just gonna back
There
and
you
forth, run them over. That's my turn.
Alrighty. You are able to do that. Just do a quick check in on still had any update on what his
He had to restart his whole computer.
fun. Okay. Alright, well that is Sela's turn. The next is going to be the Ignians.
Oh, I would like to say I don't know if you've ever heard the trumpety sound that like a deer or an elk makes.
Sure.
Like the sound that the heart mount in Dragon Age Inquisition makes, but I make that noise and it's cool
Okay.
as shit.
There you go. You make that noise. Ignians. This guy's going to fucking run. Which will invoke an attack of opportunity from the magma elemental, which punches the ever-loving shit out of him. He is dead. These guys are going to flee this way. You hear this one call out, like, towards that direction.
What does he say?
Elvish, for those of you who speak it. You hear him call out. He says, "Commander, the seals are broken. The elementals are loose. They will kill us all." These guys are going to do the best they can at this elemental before it powers up. They're all three of them going to attack the earth elemental while it's still an earth elemental. Oh my god. A 1, a 1, a 3, and a 7. 3 ineffectual swords plink off of the earthen body of this elemental. And then 3 elven pants are simultaneously shat as these guys realize that they are deeply fucked. Oh no. Oh goodness. Okay, well that's their turn. Unfortunately, Phyxis and Rowan, that brings us to you guys.
What do you want to do, buddy?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I see a big group of people standing all together. And I have just the answer for that.
Should we move up a little bit to get in the rain?
120 feet. Am I 120 feet away?
I'd say if you guys move to the edge of the bridge here, you can fire at those dudes.
Sure, let's just walk up a little bit, and I hide behind both shields the whole time.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden, seemingly out of nowhere, from between the shields, this little small orange glow appears and just goes.
Open the shields just a little bit for his hand.
It's like a little firework going off. It's just like it goes up, and you see this little trail of sparks just go across the bridge above, just arcing its way all the way across, and it's going to land right in the middle of all those jokers on the other side of the bridge and erupt into a massive fireball.
Start rolling damage. I'll start rolling dex saves.
All right, they are dex saves 16.
Success, failure. Success. Success. Jeez, doing well. Failure. Okay, so 2 fail, 3. These 2 fail. These 4 succeed.
For some reason, it's not rolling on the D&D Beyond this week, so we'll do this way. $32 points of fire damage.
Okay. So these guys succeeded. These guys... No. Well, yes. No, these guys failed.
The ones with the green mark failed.
Okay. So, the green mark failed, which means dead, even though he succeeded, dead, and these guys each take 16 points. Fire damage. The fireball hits the bridge. Several Ignians are like thrown. Their like burning bodies are like hurled clear of the bridge by the explosion as they fly and like fall down into the magma. Several of them are like knocked to the ground. They roll. They frantically like try to pat themselves out as they're on fire. these three of them like begin to try and like scrabble to their feet and continue to like eke their way towards the end of the bridge, trying to flee towards the group over there by that gate. And Rowan, is your turn is just shield walling, or are you doing anything else?
I'm just shield walling for now because I'm best served in melee. But I am gonna look back at Nimue, or as we like walk by her, and I'm gonna say, Nimue, I don't know if they'll listen, but maybe mind link with the elemental and try to make friends
It's
for
like
us.
we're mind melded
Okay.
already. I was already thinking about yeah.
I just don't want them to throw it at us as we're trying to take out the bad guys. Thank you,
I
love
love
you.
it. And I speak primordial,
Yeah.
so
And I blow a kiss at Nimue before I keep moving forward.
I did not wild magic, but I was very close,
Oh,
Matt.
God.
so-
Okay.
I'm standing with you. That's part of the problem we're facing.
I was one number off.
What if he had also fireballed himself with Rowan directly on top
Well,
of
he gets
him?
advantage on his. He gets a +3 to his dex and save and all these other things, and he gets we have resistance on small damage with my saves, my things. So maybe he'd live.
Okay. At the end of this round, that like beam of light hits the base of this gate, and that stone barrier opens. The lead figure gestures the others inside, and they begin to run through this gateway, disappearing from your sight. The leader hesitates back for a moment, turns around, kind of like looks out over the, like across the chasm towards like where you guys are now, kind of like making your way this way. This elemental has like risen up, and looking in the direction of you guys, they raise their voice, and they call out,
"You should turn back and leave while you still can. The elementals will not be stopped. Nobody else needs to die here today. I just need to finish what I came here for. You don't understand what's happening. Don't be fools."
and he turns and walks into the gateway.
Okay, I'm
Disappearing from
convinced.
your sight.
That's awesome. I love that voice.
Who is who?
All right.
Now that question, just because I want to prolong before we all get killed by elementals. Does the voice ring any bells? Now that we've heard it
modulated,
in our head.
modulated as
is-
it is. I don't think there's any way to
Okay,
like.
so it's modulated through his own.
There's something about that armor is like modulating the voice. That is clearly not like a person's normal voice.
Yeah. Okay. Then can I be an ass and ask if the phrasing sounds familiar? If I'm used to anyone talking in that manner.
Make an insight check, I guess.
I need to know things. Okay, not bad for me. 16?
There's nothing that like. It was a pretty generic phrase. I think what you gain with that insight is I think you genuinely get the sense that this person like doesn't hold malice towards you guys and like believed what like was being upfront of like, I'm here to do something and I just need to do it, like just leave. I don't we don't need to fight, just go. I just need to do what I'm doing here and just go.
Okay. I don't know how to feel about that, but okay.
All right. We're at the top of the order. Before we continue with initiative, let me ask you guys this. What is your plan what is your plan to proceed from here? Are you going to continue to engage in this combat, Are you going to move to pursue these guys? Are you going to leave? What's the sort of like, what's the deal here?
Nimue wants to try to convince the elementals we're here to help and here to stop the intruders and chase after them. That's
Okay.
Nimue's plan.
Then at the very least we can resolve that because you're the first initiative anyway. So your attempt is you're gonna mind link with the
Yes.
one of these elementals. What the hell? That's weird. There's a mini hidden somewhere in there. Yeah, I don't know what that was. That was not something I put on this map. It must have just been in here from when I loaded the preloaded thing.
Wait, I found him. I found him.
Is
I
it still
got
there?
him. Yeah, I got him. He's down in the lava.
What is he?
What is it?
Like a little lizard man.
Oh, that's fun.
Is he? Where is he? I can't.
He's in the lava?
I'm bringing him over.
I see him. I see him.
I got him.
What is he?
He's
Oh, he's a little
guy.
lizard man. That's fun. Maybe I did put a lizard. All right. Anyway, he's not supposed to be here. I don't know why that was. I don't know why that was on this map. I did not put it there to my knowledge. Anyway, okay. So, Nimue, you're trying to mind link with the elemental, yeah?
Yes.
Make an insight check.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. 22.
There is nothing remaining of the essence of whatever this creature is, save insanity and rage.
Oh, buddy. Okay. Then I will just, like, yell out. They can't be reasoned with. Their minds are too far gone. Let's just go. We could just chase after them. That's my suggestion. I don't know what you guys. What do you think?
What's that face?
Yeah, what's that?
Sela?
thing?
I saved my 4th level spell slots. What if I cast Charm Monster on it? And brought it with
That
us?
would work on one though, right?
Yeah, on one of them,
There's-
the one that I'm near.
Two?
Put one against the other, and then that would buy us the time that we need to do.
Ooh. That's a... Sela's higher up in the initiative than us, and Rowan's waiting for a movement from the team. I'm not gonna make the battle call. I'm
So, I
not
mean-
a general.
Murderbeard's still not back. And the elementals, the only thing that's going to happen between now and Sela's turn then is that this one is going to infuse itself with magma. If I can select it, which I
Uh-huh.
apparently can't. There we go.
Oh, he's getting large. Oh,
This one beefs up with magma as well. That is going to be what it does. And it is going to take 2 attacks. Okay. Killing 1, 2 of these guys. The third attack it is going to take is a ranged attack, and it is going to be at you, Sela.
That's
as
fine.
you're the only like ranged person.
it's
No, it's not very good. It's not a very good attack roll though.
I mean, I don't have a lot of AC. Actually, I might have more AC than I normally do, but still not very. Yeah, I do, but not much. I only have an AC of 14 as a
That's-
giant oak.
It's a 15 to hit, so that will hit you.
Yeah.
So your giant elk form takes 33 points of fire damage.
I'm still a giant elk.
Okay.
You
Wow.
said 33?
33 points of fire damage.
I do not need to get hit by one of them.
Don't do it, sir.
Alright. That is its turn. Now, Sela, it is your turn.
Well, okay. So are we?
Nimue's chasing.
I kind of want to chase too, cause like this elemental, like he's fine, he's got it. If he can't kill this one dude, then he deserves whatever's coming to him.
My concern is us making it across the bridge before the magma kills all of us. The magma tosses get to us, or the elemental up here chases us down.
Yeah. All right. All right.
That is my fear currently.
Well, then I'm gonna. How do I? There. As my giant elk. Okay, this is a weird. If I like unwild shape, can I re-wild shape immediately?
You can just switch forms. You don't have to drop it. You can just switch forms as a bonus action. If you still have a
Oh
wild
yeah,
shape left.
oh yeah, you magically assume. Oh, okay. So then I'm going to just run,
Okay.
and then I jump, and then when I am in the air, I'm gonna turn into a giant eagle and fly towards my friends.
Okay.
I don't know if the bear can stand on the lava.
Hang on a second.
I don't know how to make things fly.
Can giant eagle carry human person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hold up Texas. If I see Sela coming, holding up Texas.
Hold him up under the armpits.
Man, I thought I had a giant eagle mini.
I don't know. Do you have like a
Yeah, I
bird that you
do.
can just make
Yeah,
really
I
big?
do.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so I have 80. So I used like I don't know how much of my movement to run as this elk and then
It's
jump.
too damn big.
But then I'm using the rest of my movement to start flying towards my friends.
Okay. No problem. You're able to do that. Let's do this here. Then let's handle this next bit narratively. Is the intention here to giant eagle and pursue in here?
Yeah, like I would basically. So I can't see Murderbeard because he's invisible, but I can see Rowan and Thixis. So I would probably try to grab both of them, like one in each claw, and then just fly towards these other dudes with the door.
Okay.
Like over here.
Okay.
Where my giant green scribble is.
Here's what we'll say then. You do this. You fly. You swoop in easily with like claw. Somebody like jumps on your back. Invisibly, Murderbeard will like grab hold as well. You're able to like gather everybody up. The magma elementals don't seem as interested in like as you are like airborne and kind of flying around. This one immediately begins to like move in the direction of the like guys fleeing across this bridge. This one sort of like makes short work of the guy, like the remaining guy over there who like has nowhere to run now that he doesn't have like a spellcaster to help him get to this area. And it basically like goes towards like and then goes down into the magma and disappears from your guys' view. As you fly like with it as a giant eagle, these guys are like running this way in the direction that like they went as well. You easily like cut the distance and outstrip them. As you get to here, you can see inside that now open gate, there is a narrow corridor, and then beyond it, there is a large, just a straight up hole in the ground that descends straight down. There is no sight of the people who already ran in.
Okay. Well, so are
You're flying
Nimue?
all over.
Yeah, I mean Nimue and Murderbeard are pretty fast because, like, so they're able to get over there, or I'm able to grab them and cut the distance. We're all like,
basically what I'm kind of envisioning here is like everybody is currently like held or riding upon giant eagle Sela, and you are like over here, and there is a 70-foot diameter circular hole descending like to a shaft straight down like into the abyss in
And
front of you.
I have everybody right
You
now.
have everybody.
Nosedive.
Hell yeah.
I don't even think twice. Nosedive. Tuck the wings in. Roller coaster ride. Let's go.
Alrighty. You guys may have just been asked to choose your seat. You can ignore that. Okay.
Whoa.
You descend. And you descend for a while. You are fairly confident you are like descending down the main magma tube of this ancient volcano. Eventually this shaft sort of like begins to angle off, and you sort of like come to a portion where it like levels off, and you are able to like hit solid ground again. You are in a hallway of rough-hewn stone that is 15, 20 feet long, and then opens up into like a large area that has been carved out of like the interior of the volcano. Like rock has been hewn away so that there is like a level platform before there is like well on the far side of this space, like an edge that, based on like the glow and the heat coming from it, you think descends directly to like the magma core of the volcano. As you enter into the space, and I'll kind of let you figure out what you're doing in terms of bird form and stuff like that. You can see that this place is filled. Like, don't be fooled by the barren appearance of the map here. I was not able to find suitable like miniature stuff to put down to represent treasure, but this bitch is full of treasure. Like mountains and mountains of gold and jewels and chests and pieces of like artwork and furniture. All of it like ancient in design as far as you can see. There's like paths through that you can walk through. But this space has been filled to the brim with treasure. And in the distance, you can see the 5 people they have like branched out and they are searching for something.
Oh. Oh snap. I mean, I can tell you what Giant Eagle Scylla is gonna do, and if anybody wants to get dropped, they either roll off or just slap her claw and she will let them go. I'm going directly for those people.
Yeah, I'm not
Alrighty.
getting off you. I'm going
Like-
for you.
Are we all just like dropping in literally and
Yeah, I literally, like, I want to get over these people, and like, I mean, like, Phyxis I will hold in a claw. I'm not gonna just yeet him. Rowan, I'm straight up yeeting her heavy metal body at these people like a cannonball.
Can you aim me at the big guy that was telling us to run away?
Yes, that's literally who I'm going for, that motherfucker.
I just don't like that he told us to like, no, don't bother. It's like, you started it. We here because of you.
Yeah, everybody can get off wherever they want. I would assume Nimue and Murderbeard are probably like jumped onto my back. So they have the power to just roll off.
Nimue rolls off a second before Rowan gets dropped right next to her. We just
Alrighty. Everybody go ahead and roll me a new initiative.
Oh, I get to roll a better one because I am a giant eagle this time.
Got 20 plus 5.
Giant...
19.
Oh my god.
19. Rowan and Phyxis stay together.
There we
Even though I'm
go.
I'm getting thrown away from you, but still.
Initiative's just dex, right?
Yes. I don't know. I don't have any decks, so that's why I have 0. What'd you do?
It should be on your sheet.
Well, it's a giant, but the
Oh.
stat blocks don't.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just, I think it's just dex.
Alright, so Rowan and Phyxis on 19. What's everybody else?
25. Natural 20.
25. Okay.
10 for Scylla.
10.
And Murderbeard is a 25. I just rolled a natural 19.
Damn.
Alrighty. Am I missing anybody? Nimue, Murderbeard, Phyxis, Rowan, Scylla. No, I'm not. Okay.
How long did it take us to get down here?
Has
Has
not
it
long.
been more than a minute?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
But not much more than a minute. It took you. I mean, you basically just and then like flared your wings. So it's been like a minute since you guys since you picked everybody up and like flew them down.
Yeah,
so
that
these
just
guys.
means Murderbeard's not invisible anymore.
Oh, okay. Murderbeard's not
wouldn't be
invisible.
invisible anymore.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yes, it has been a minute. Alrighty then. So you guys are kind of like swooping in here. Nimue and Murderbeard, you are first, but until Sela gets her turn, you're still like here at the entrance, unless you're like disengaging from her in some.
No, I'm
some
staying
way.
on top of Sela until she gets
Okay.
there.
Good
So
good thing the
first.
first two people have really far good ranged attacks too.
Well, that's true. I have my bow.
You can just
I'm
shoot
gonna
from.
I'm just gonna shoot from top of Sela's back.
Russell, can you
I'm
hear us?
Probably gonna say you should make that attack at disadvantage, as you're on a moving giant eagle with like 6 other people.
Sure.
Who are you shooting for?
The big bad boy.
Okay.
I'm back.
Hey.
Roll an Eldritch Blast attack at disadvantage. Or well, do you want to attack?
I don't think that hits.
No, the first one was a 6, so it's definitely not gonna
12.
hit.
12.
Yeah.
No, neither of those. The arrow goes wide. The Eldritch Blast actually hits him, but it just like glances off this armor that he has, which you can see immediately is like clearly
Is
enchanted.
he reaching for anything?
No, they're like searching through treasure right now.
Okay, then I just want to I want these to be more warning shots. I'm not aiming to do serious harm. I'm trying to get them to be distracted to
Okay.
stop looking what they're looking for.
All right, you do that.
So that tracks.
You fire off a warning shot.
Yeah.
He the arrow hits the treasure where he was about to reach, and he stands and turns up and looks in your direction, and he says,
Didn't have to be like this. Do it.
He gestures towards the robed member of his group, who is not firing off a warning shot. Sela. I need you, as soon as this loads. This robed figure brings a hand up, and a pinprick of green light appears in their finger and launches in your direction. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
You get +3 to saving throws with you holding me.
Okay.
And you also get
Yo.
you also have resistance from the damage if that plays into this at all. Because of my other
that was
aura.
really, really good. So what do I get from you?
You get a +3 to your saving throw.
24.
24. Okay. Mark was 18. You successfully evade.
Yeah, 24. 18. 22.
Phyxis.
Eagles don't have a lot of hit points though.
Phyxis, Arcana check for me.
He literally just tried to. I know it.
He started to disintegrate.
It's only a 9.
Okay. You're not sure what this was. It did not look good. It whizzes past you. Sela floats out of the way, dives out of the way as an eagle, evading the beam. It hits a chunk of wall behind you, and a 15-foot section of wall turns to powder and falls to the ground below you, onto the floor.
Everybody, I don't know how to do that.
Aim for
Whatever
the
that
spellcaster.
was, I don't know what to do. I don't know what that was.
Kill the spellcaster then.
Phyxis and Rowan, it is now your turn.
Kill the spellcaster. Because I can't do anything till we get over there. Until Sela can drop me.
How far are we away?
Probably Sela. What I'm gonna say we are a dash action for Sela away. Is how far you guys
I have
are.
80 feet of fly speed.
So then you are 80 feet times 2 away from these guys currently.
Ooh, gosh.
question, Matt. Could I use a bonus action to mind link with the main dude?
You can try.
I would like to try. I think the question that if it goes through is where is Pendragon?
You kind of cast out in the direction of this individual, and you hit like a barrier.
Yeah.
Something is preventing you from contacting. Probably his armor, which like clearly seems to be enchanted in some way.
Okay. Shit.
So, for my turn, can I hold a spell until I'm within 60 feet of Mr. Robed Guy?
Sure. Alrighty. Rowan, are you what are you doing with your turn?
I'm going to hold an attack, and like I can't do anything distance, so I'm literally just like waiting for Sela to get me over there.
Okay.
At best, and because I'm kind of just done with this whole thing, and after seeing that powder thing, I'll say, I'll yell like, if you don't want to fight, stop trying to kill us and talk. If you're not going to explain yourself, we're going to assume the worst. But that's all I'm going to say as we're flying in.
You sort of like yell that, and then there is like almost as if on cue there is this like deep rumble within the volcano, and the helmed figure says,
We don't have time for that.
and it is his turn. In fact, let's see. He is going to use his turn to search. He digs through treasure. He does not appear to come up with anything that he was looking for. He like tosses like a gauntlet aside. He like picks up a chalice and hucks that, and he is going to move this way towards like another pile of treasure. That is all he's going to do with his turn. This guy is going to pull a bow from his back, aim it in your guys' direction, and he is going to take... as soon as I can find his... He's going to take 2 attacks against Sela as an eagle.
Y'all better hope that this doesn't knock me out, because I'm a little baby bird right now.
24 to hit.
Uh-huh.
And a 13 to hit.
Yep.
On the 24, Rowan's going to use her protection fighting style and impose disadvantage on the roll.
All right. Disadvantage is a nat 1, so he only hits you once.
Nice.
So I'm going to activate my protective field and try and reduce some of the damage with my psychic
Okay.
abilities.
Go ahead and
I'm,
roll
like, on
your
top of her.
psychic reduction.
I will do so. I will reduce it by 7.
By 7. Okay. Sela, you take 7 points of piercing damage.
Still flying?
Yeah, I just have a very low hit point pool overall as a giant eagle. But I haven't actually taken any damage yet, right? This is the first time?
Yeah,
Because the
that's the
disintegration
first
didn't
time
do
you're gonna hit.
anything.
And it is, in fact, Sela, your turn.
I'm flying. I'm dashing.
So your
which I think-
fly and your dash can get the whole group to, like...
Yeah, which I think triggers, Thixis is in range. Even
Thixis will come into range.
Soon
yes.
as-
Gets in range, Rowan gets dropped, like everything that
Yeah.
that would help us all.
I'm trying to get Rowan dropped as close to the dude as possible, but I know I'm limited by 160 feet of movement, so...
If you, however close you can get me, I will run at him and just try to distract him. Like I'm making a run for it.
And as soon as we get into 60 feet, I would look at the person that is robed and say, I don't like you being here. And I'm going to cast Banishment.
Ooh,
Alrighty, they have to make a wisdom saving throw, yeah?
That is a Charisma saving throw
Charisma saving. Okay.
of a 16.
How's their charisma save?
And I gotta
Okay.
check something really fast. It's only for me. Never mind.
Okay.
Okay.
They manage to succeed on their saving throw. They start to flicker for a second, and then they snap back into focus and they don't disappear.
Okay, we're
Quick-
safe.
Quick question. With Wild Shape, it says you retain the benefit of any features from your class, race, or other source, and can
Okay.
use them if the new form is physically capable of doing so. I have a racial bonus action to go invisible called Hidden Step. Can I do that as a giant eagle?
I truly have no idea.
Because it's
Uh,
you magically turn invisible. It's not like a physiological thing.
Yeah, I
I
guess.
think you can.
Okay, I'm going to once I move and dash, drop everybody. Bonus action. I am now an invisible giant eagle until the start
Okay.
of my next turn.
Cool. All right then. This individual in a white cloak and plate armor is going to take their turn.
Wait, before they go, does my how far am I from the guy?
He moved from when you Sela is not
Yeah.
no longer able to get you to
Yeah,
him
yeah,
because
no, yeah, how
he
far am I?
moved. You're when your next turn, you're within a movement feat from a movement of him.
Okay, because I held my action and everything
To
my
move.
turn to just get to him was
Okay,
my
yeah, then
wording.
absolutely, yeah. You can use your movement on your
My
turn
plan
to
was just get me to him. I
Sure.
didn't have anything after that. It was just get me
You-
to him.
you run to him.
Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, that's it.
Alrighty. So like I said, the person with the armor and the cloak there, they are going to turn Rowan in your direction, and they're going to cast a spell at you. Rowan, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Okay, wisdom saving?
Yes.
29.
Woo!
Damn.
I have
Uh,
+7 to my
Nice.
wisdom save, and then I have
Yeah.
+3, and I have rolled a 19, so...
Faster.
They turn in your direction, and they try to cast a spell at you, and you feel like your arms and legs begin to attempt to snap together as if you had magnets attached to yourself. But you break through the hold person spell, and are unable to, or they are unable to hold you. The final member of this group is a very large, not quite as big as Sela, but a pretty sizable human female who has a sword that is longer than Thyxus. They are going to do something that you have seen a couple of times from a few other people, and their pupils are going to go
Like Kenna.
and they go no! And they are going to let's see, where did everybody get dropped here? They're gonna go. Where's their mini? Here's their mini. They're gonna attack. Thyxus, you attempted to do some magic boys, right? So they're gonna go after you.
I definitely did.
They're gonna attack you.
Oh my god, 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 oh my god.
They're gonna recklessly attack you to give themselves advantage. They're gonna attack you twice. As soon as I find their friggin' weapon.
Michael's face is killing me right now.
Getting ready. I've
He's just like-
got my luck.
An 18
My
to hit.
comment earlier still stands.
Now, what is my armor class standing next to?
The shield.
Am I
You are
still
no longer
next to
standing next to
Rowan?
Rowan because she chased the other guy.
I left him the animated shield.
Yes,
I
yes,
don't
yes, I see.
think you can
That
do
work?
that.
Dang it.
An 18 to hit and
yep.
a
That's definitely
11
gonna
to hit.
11 will not.
Okay.
My mage armor holds true.
You take 11 points of slashing damage. That is their turn. Top of the order, Nimue and Murderbeard. Oh, actually, hang on a second. I missed a dude. There was a guy that should have gone. Oh no, no, number 9. This did this guy go?
That guy shot at me.
Their bow guy shot you. Okay, I thought I missed him in the initiative.
He tried
missed.
to
Okay.
disintegrate and he raged.
Cool.
Wait, who's this fourth guy?
Wizard.
Right here.
He went first.
Oh,
disintegrated.
Okay, so that's the disintegrate guy. That's the hold guy.
Yeah, wizard,
Okay, never
ranger,
mind.
barbarian, cleric, Kylo Ren. whatever his deal is, you're not sure yet. He hasn't done anything yet to indicate.
Yeah. Adam
okay.
Driver, what are you doing here? No, it's your
Nimue,
shirt off.
Nimue and Murderbeard, you are up.
You think I
first,
should go for
Emily.
disintegrate, buddy?
Okay.
Up
Alright.
to you, dear.
I'm just trying to figure out. Yeah. Disintegrate makes me nervous. Is there 2 wizards or just 1?
As far as you can tell, one.
Wizard and a cleric.
Oh,
There's
gotcha.
like 2 casters that we can
There's
see.
2 casters. That
There's
we
2
know of.
casters. The other one, the
no,
other
okay.
one is wearing like armor that clearly identifies them as like a like cleric of the.
All right, I'll go for the
like
squishy
the-
boy first with my naginata.
All right, go ahead and roll the hit.
All right.
Dang, why is the cleric like such a graceful anime man? He's got like
16 plus 8, which I'm assuming is.
yeah, that's a 26 to hit.
26 hits.
This is also psychic. That's 18 damage on the first hit.
All right, 18 damage.
Second hit. Yeah, natural 17 plus 8.
That will also hit.
All 13 damage.
All right, 13 damage. All right, you slash. You kind of slash into him. He sort of staggers back. He has a staff that he kind of like engages you
Actually,
with a little
could
bit.
I
But you
get-
cut into him a couple times.
Can I get a strength saving throw on both of them?
Yeah. Well, the first one's a 3, so I don't think it matters what the second one is.
Okay. I knock him prone.
Yeah. You sweep the leg, Daniel-san. He falls. You hear the wind go out of him as he hits the ground.
Cool.
Alrighty. Cool. Anything else?
That is my turn. I keep forgetting whenever I do my psionic thrust, I can make them go prone. I should have been doing that this whole time.
Well, he's on the ground now, and that's what matters. Murderbeard, what are you doing?
Okay. So,
You're no longer invisible, by the way. I don't know if you were back for that
yes, no, I heard that.
Okay.
We're just standing here, right?
part. You've been, like, dropped on the ground by Sela, who has turned invisible and flown away.
Okay. Thanks. You are going to feel a hand on your shoulder. And then you're going to feel another hand on your other shoulder. And then a bunch more hands as Murderbeard casts his mirror image and pushes Thyxus out of the way and essentially casts 3 duplicates of himself and human shields around Thyxus.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. Alrighty.
No, Thyxus is now in a circle of Murderbeards. And I believe it takes my action to do that. So, yeah, I don't. Well, let me see if I have any. No, that's it. I don't have any bonus actions. So,
Okay.
I'm going to do that.
Alrighty.
There's now 4 Murderbeards. Forderbeard, if you will.
Forderbeard, yeah. Okay. From the ground, the wizard who got knocked down, he kind of like, looks up at you, Nimue, and he shouts. He shouts, "Boysenberry." And then he begins to cast a spell.
Oh no, is he gonna kamikaze us, guys?
Is boysenberry a code?
I need everybody except for Rowan to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, motherfucker. Okay. I might need to use my inspiration. Yes, I do. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
I think I have something
did.
too. I just can't remember what it was.
18.
Okay.
I do have written on my note that I have a player inspiration from 816.
Oh, I have it anyway. Hold up,
Okay.
hold on.
I would. So Matt, just remember that you got like a natural 20 and a GM inspo last time.
That's fine.
Okay. I got a 17. I only rolled a
Definitely
9.
using that
Okay.
inspiration.
I
Oh
did-
my gosh, I rolled the same number twice.
Michael, no, stop.
So I heard
I
an
rolled an
18
8.
from Nimue, a 17 from Sela.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Thyxus got what?
An 8.
An 8. And Murderbeard, how'd you do?
What was this a roll? I missed that. What were we rolling?
Wisdom saving
Wisdom.
throw.
Oh. That's gonna be 17.
17. This wizard on the ground yells Boysenberry. And the barbarian, the cleric, and the ranger use their reaction to shut their eyes. And then a moment later, he essentially reaches into his pocket and throws a handful of glitter at you, Nimue. And he is going to cast Hypnotic Pattern. Nimue, you succeed.
Oh.
Oh my
Everybody
God.
else fails. You are charmed for the duration, concentration up to a minute. You are considered incapacitated, and your speed becomes 0. I don't know what that does to you, Sela, in terms of like staying an eagle, but you are certainly going to fall out of the air.
But I had just dropped everybody off, so it probably wasn't that high up, right?
No, you're probably not more than 10, 15 feet off the ground. Just figure out for me if you can stay an eagle when you get incapacitated.
She can stay in her eagle form. It's whether she if she takes like damage enough to knock
Sure.
her out of her eagle.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
not like it's not a concentration thing.
everybody gets the three of you get hypnotic patterned.
Yeah.
Nimue, you
Does that break my
resist.
spell?
Rowan, you are not looking. What's that?
Does that break my spell?
What spell?
My mirror
Is
image.
it concentration?
Is mirror image a concentration spell?
I don't think so.
It doesn't look like it.
Incapacitated doesn't say anything about concentration. It just says you can't take actions or reactions.
You should.
But does the spell have a C on it?
Can they make their saves at the end of their turn, or is it just until I break his concentration?
They don't make any saves. They're just incapacitated until this spell ends, or another condition is met to like wake them back up.
Right.
That is his turn. Thixis, you are incapacitated. Rowan, it is your turn.
Not knowing what happened behind me because I am running at the dude. Is he looking at me or is he still digging in the ground?
He's digging in treasure.
Don't care, no honor here, swinging at him.
All right, roll the hit.
That is a dirty 20 to hit.
Ooh, roll damage.
And I'm two-handing because if the... That's not my dice that I need. That's it. 10 points of damage.
10 points
That's
of
the
damage.
first hit.
Okay. You gonna keep swinging?
Yep.
All right.
My second
roll
hit.
again.
That is a... I don't know if that's gonna hit. That's a 14 to hit. I doubt it with his armor.
That does not hit.
Bing!
Okay. So here's what happens. You run up. He's like digging through treasure. He straightens up, not having found what he's looking for in this pile, and like looks, is like looking around for the next kind of like place to run. As you run up, Shikai comes out and you like swing it. You kind of like slash across. As he's like got his back to you, he doesn't see you. You catch like the back of his shoulder with your first strike. It like slashes forward. You see like your sword finds true in a piece between the armor. Like a little bit of blood comes out. You swing around the second time and swing again. You don't manage to like find an opening in the armor. Your sword like skips off, but as it does, it like turns upward and slides as he's like pushed forward, and it catches under like the lip of the back of the helmet. And with a sort of like the helmet is flipped off of his head. As it tumbles through the air.
I'm gonna vomit. Yeah.
Nimue, you see this. Rowan, you obviously see this. The rest of you don't, as you've been hypnotic patterned. But what you would see, as the helmet flips off, a shock of kind of like shoulder length dark hair spills out and kind of like lean forward, and he turns around, and what you see is a human man, relatively young. He has no real distinguishing features, save for the fact that Rowan, his nose definitely didn't heal straight after you broke it. And he looks at you and he says, "It really is good to see you, Rowan. But I really need to find something." And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
I'm losing my shit. I'm shitting myself.
I thought you were gonna call it before we even got to see his face.
I'm gonna vomit.
I really thought. Oh my god.
I'm gonna vomit. Oh my god.
Yeah, we're gonna kill a shit out of this
Nimue,
guy,
it
don't
is
worry.
not Aiden.
Thank God.
You
Thank
recognize
I'm
that.
glad it's not Aiden, but I'm not okay with this
As soon
either.
as he said a shock of black, I'm like, it's not Aiden.
When he said chocolate black, my heart went down through the floor of my apartment into the ground.
That's our episode.
Oh
Thank you,
my
thank you
God.
guys for playing as always. Thank you guys at home for joining us and watching. We will be back next week with the Fools, and then the week after that with the conclusion of this situation with the Pirates. Thank you to our sponsors, Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games. Be sure to check out all of our various social medias, the YouTubes, the Twitters, the Discord, the everything. Check out all of our other shows here on Twitch, on YouTube, all of that good stuff. And we will, of course, as always, see you next Tuesday. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye. See you next Tuesday.